All right, y'all. Welcome back to the Who's Right podcast, and another few days with almost nothing happening for the Mets. But we're going to start talking about it. We're going to first talk about the Mauricio injury, and then we're going to go into the recent moves that just happened, and we're just going to cap it off with some more Yamamoto stuff because he's still not signed. But before we get started, Victor, how you doing?
What do you mean no news? The Mets just picked up more minor league deals with the invite to spring training. That's some huge news. But no, I'm doing great. Um, excited because I'm thinking that the news is gonna drop that Yamamoto is signing any second now. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm ready to go.
All right, all right. So as we get started, the first thing that we're going to do is, with the bad news of the day, we're going to talk about Mauricio. It's unfortunate, but Mauricio is out probably for the year, and for me, it's devastating because I actually wanted Mauricio to win the job from Beatty. I was looking forward to it, because he can provide some bad, some real power from both sides of the plate, and some base stealing. And he's kind of like the more electric player than Beatty. Beatty might be the more consistent player eventually. Who knows? I don't know, but I was really looking forward to Mauricio kind of winning that job because he can. I believe he can be electric, but I'm not sure what you think, Victor.
Yeah, obviously it's sad news. You always hate to hear an injury. On top of that, an injury in the off season when he's not even playing for the club. But honestly, I've been dying to talk about this for a while because I have a different opinion than everyone else. Honestly, I obviously it's not the best thing to happen to Mauricio. You don't want him to get hurt. You don't want him to have to go through that rehab and come back and fight back. But when he comes back, he's not going to have to fight for a job, is the way I see it. Honestly, the way that I see it, he's was already going to adjust to a new position with having to fight for the third base job. We know he's played it a few times, but now he has a whole year to rehab, recover. And if things aren't going right with Beatty by the time that he comes back or is ready to practice, start getting on the field, then they'll start putting him in third base, start playing him at third base in the minor leagues. And by the time he comes in September, you can throw him in right away and he's comfortable at that position rather than he starts the year there. He's fighting for a job with not only Brett Beatty, but Mark Vientos as well. And you have three guys fighting for the same position, not getting consistent playing time. Um, and we've seen how that can hurt people's development, how it can make hurt their confidence. Honestly, I haven't lost faith in Brett Beatty. I just think that this was a year where he was just in a huge slump, and we've seen it before. But I think he can come back and be the third baseman that we know him to be. In 2020, yeah, in 2022, we were so excited to have him up, and so I still think that he can be that third baseman that we want. He just got caught up in the no the slumps that the Mets were in this year. But I think it'd be better if we moved. Now, this is my proposition to the Mets this year. Um, Move McNeil out to left. We know that he's a versatile player and he can play out there. And then when Mauricio is able to come back, he can play second base. That's the position that he's comfortable with, playing that middle infield. He's a shortstop, but he can play second base as well. And when he comes back for the 2025 season, he's going to have a running start, fit in a position that he's coming comfortable with, and with an opportunity to win Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, I mean, I have no issue with that. It's Beatty's job to lose at this point. I know a lot of people want to pick up Justin Turner to kind of be a backup to Beatty, and I don't mind all that, but if I'm I would only be on board with a Justin Turner kind of pickup if we pick up Yamamoto. If we don't pick up Yamamoto, let Beatty do whatever he's going to do. And but if we do pick up a Yamamoto, maybe you need a little bit more of a challenge there for Beatty. More of if he struggles, that we put in a Justin Turner. But at the end of the day, he is 40 years old, Justin Turner, and who knows what he's got left. But yeah, you're right. I don't mind that. Honestly, I I'm still pulling for even though with the Mauricio injury, I still would like to see McNeil traded for a pitcher. You know what I mean? We could pick up an outfielder somewhere else um and leave it open, second base open if we get a nice pitcher, because there's some outfielders that can replace McNeil's bat. Not um, award hitting bat, but enough to cover what we need. And if we can get a pitcher, a young pitcher under control for McNeil, I wouldn't mind doing that. And again, let Beatty have the job this year, and let's see what he does. Because like you said, Mauricio's coming back. Regardless of what happens this year, Mauricio's coming back, and he's either going to get a chance at second base if Beatty does well, right? If he wins the job outright, or if Beatty doesn't do well, he's going to get the full on chance to do it next year. And at that point, probably to win the job instead of fighting for the job, right? Yeah, to be honest with you, I still want to see McNeil traded. I do think we need a little bit of a shakeup in the locker room, and see some new faces, see some guys with some not because McNeil's fiery, but just like I said with Brandon and the Friends of the NL East, you want the right fire, right? You don't want just some guy that's angry all the time. Like McNeil, you want somebody that builds a fire on you as well. And I love Squirrel. Squirrel's my man. But sometimes you need a change in certain position. I think that change could be McNeil. I think we can get something for him, and package of Vientos or something, and get a quality pitcher under control for a few years, that's kind of tested the waters and shown that he can pitch up here in the majors, and send him over to somebody that could use a McNeil. So I don't know. What you think.
No, for sure. I like everything you said there. I My point was in saying that was that nothing changes. Mauricio would have been great to see him play with the excitement that he brings. He would have definitely lit a fire uh, in that locker room, like you talked about. But at the end of the day, he wasn't our star third baseman or our star second baseman. He was a great prospect that we were excited to see play, and nothing changes from there. As like you said, we still would love to trade McNeil for a great pitcher. And if we do that, then it gives room for these other younger guys to come up and play. We see so many of these guys in the minor leagues just biting at the bit to come up here and play. And so, like I said, I don't think the only reason I said we should move him to the left field is because we need a left fielder, but we have plenty of outfielders that can also probably shift over. I'm sure we can look at Marte playing in the left field if he really wanted to. Honestly, I think I can see him coming back and being an impactful player. I think this past year was just a big slump for everybody. You can't just go from number 2 in our lineup to not being a reliable piece in our on our team. So I could see a lot of these players coming back and doing the things that they did in 2022.
Yeah, no, for sure, for sure. And about an hour, let's shift gears now. About an hour ago, some news is happening on the pitching front, and but it's not involving the Mets. It's involving the Dodgers again. I'm getting really tired of the Dodgers, to be honest with you. But the Dodgers are trading for Glasnow. They're getting Glasnow and Margot for a couple prospects, and Dodgers are amping up. I don't know if they're still in the Yamamoto kind of train yet, still, and if they are, whoo, they're
Yeah.
building a team. They're building a team, but part of the trade, I don't know if you saw, part of the trade is that Glass now has to sign an extension.
Oh,
So he has to sign an extension. So there's an extension window. If he doesn't sign the extension, the deal doesn't go through. And so you know, Glass now is getting extended with the Dodgers. That's going to get done. I don't have any fear that it doesn't get done. But he's gotta, that's more money the Dodgers are putting into the payroll. Are they going to try to do a Cohen-esque massive payroll? I know Otani kind of deferred all his money till after his contract is over, but they're still adding more payroll. I can't see all those guys deferring their money. I can't see Yamamoto deferring if he signs with the Dodgers, deferring a lot of money because he's brand spanking new. You know what I mean? He doesn't have the money that Otani has just yet.
yeah.
And endorsements, but that's the big domino has fallen so far. What do you think?
Yeah, that's the only reason that Otani was able to make that deal was because he has all those endorsements. He was already making 50 million a year, and so you can take a 2 million a year deal and then wait for the money to come in after his deal is done. Um, this deal isn't going to be expensive for the Dodgers. Glasnow is a middle end. He's probably going to be your second. They still need that ace. He's not going to get ace money. He probably get 15 mil a year, somewhere around there, maybe 20. I don't think he's going to be worth more money than that, honestly. He had a uh, kind of mediocre season, I would say. He's pitched above a 3 average. Didn't have too many strikeouts, and he was on a team that was doing really good at the time, and I think that's why he got hyped up the way he did, and in this trade and in this market, and we just see it back in day in and day out. These pitchers will continue to get money that they don't deserve because that's just the kind of market that we're in. And so I wouldn't be surprised if he does get more than 20, but I don't think he's worth that much. That being said, um, I do think that the Dodgers are still in for Yamamoto. They're doing anything that they can to win right now. And if they're only paying Shohei Otani 2 million a year right now, they have the money to dish out. They're going to try to lock him up if it costs $300 million uh, to uh, to sign him so that they can have that ace on their team. Because the Dodgers are incomplete right now, even with Glasnow, even with Margot going over, they're still incomplete, and they need that ace level pitcher that will get them to the World Series.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, Glass now is definitely getting a lot more than 15. Guys, like, subscribe, comment. Tell me who's right. When a Jordan Montgomery's projected to get about over 25, and this guy is better than an Erod and a Jordan Montgomery if healthy. This guy is a top starter, and I believe that he's going to get it. I'm with you though. I don't want him because I don't trust him because I don't think he can stay healthy. So the fact that deserves We could argue what that means for people, but um, personally, I'm glad he's going to the Dodgers because I was afraid the Mets would try to trade for him and I don't trust him. I honestly don't trust him. I don't think he can stay healthy. And so that's my take on Glass now. It's not the quality of pitcher that he is. I just don't think he can stay healthy. And so, for me, I'm glad that he's going to the Dodgers. And yeah, I am already, you know, I'm pumped up, because if I I think with the Glasnow going to the Dodgers, I think now it's kind of even opening up more for Yamamoto to come to the Mets.
I
To be
think the
honest with you.
opposite, honestly. I think
Oh,
that with that Glasnow deal, it's more enticing for him to go over to the Dodgers because of what they're building this year. And if they have that clause that they don't have the deal unless Glasnow extends, that shows Yamamoto that they want to uh, to build sustained winning as long as he's there. And so, if they do make this deal with Glassdown and extend him for another, how old is he? He's around 30, right? So
yeah, 29, 30, somewhere around that age.
they sign him for 5 more years. Then that tells Yamamoto, all right, uh, we're building a crazy rotation. We already have a great lineup, and we're going all in to build an empire here in LA. And I could see that being enticing to Yamamoto because we know that he wants to win. Same with Otani. He they come from a culture where is very prideful, and honor is a huge thing, and winning is involved in that. And so if he can get the money that he wants, which I think the Dodgers will are willing to do that, and he prefers, and if he doesn't have a preference to be in New York, I think that the Dodgers could be really dangerous in this race for Yamamoto.
Yeah, no, I mean, in that sense, I can't argue with you. If it's somewhere, but here's the question: we don't know what he wants, right? Is it the most money? Does he want to be the guy? All those factors factor in, and we don't know that yet. And until he signs, right? When he signs, he'll tell us what he wants, right? If he wants to be the guy and the most money, he'll sign with the Mets. If he wants to be number two, he'll sign with either the Dodgers or the Yankees, right? Because with the Dodgers, he's going to be number two to Otani, no matter what. With the Yankees, he's going to be number two to Cole, right? So there, but if he wants to win, because on paper, those two teams, I would say the Dodgers more than the Yankees, but I would say if he wants to win, yeah, he's going to go to the Dodgers, right? Because on paper, no doubt about it, a better team than we have right now. Um, so that'll tell us what he wants to do once he signs, right? It'll
Yeah.
tell us what he wants. Another pitcher came off the board. I don't know if you saw that. Jack Flaherty went to the Tigers. So another pitcher, middle of the rotation pitcher, not a big name. Some would say, but he's going to the Tigers for a 1 year deal, 14 million.
Yeah.
And so, we got a lot of flack for signing Severino for a 1 year deal, 13 million. Honestly, if they both pitch to the level that they both can pitch to, Severino's a better pitcher,
Yeah.
and they're getting equal money for bounce back years to see what they can get, what they can do.
Yeah. That's
I'm not too
exactly.
worried about it. But what do you think of Flaherty?
No, that's exactly right. This is just another tryout, just like what we did with Severino, seeing if they can be the pitcher that that kind of got them to the fame that they have right now. But as we've seen before, I think Severino is honestly a better pitcher than Flaherty, or he has the potential to be the better pitcher. And you know, this guy is great and all, but he's going to a team that really isn't going to compete. Um, so the Tigers just kind of filled a hole that they had, losing Eduardo Rodriguez. Um, it's not the same caliber. They kind of took a step back, but they're seeing what they can work with until they have that built. Until they build that team that is going to get them to a championship, then I don't think that they're going to make long term moves. I don't think that I don't think I can see the Tigers making these big splashes in the free agency market. You know, he's a young guy, so we'll see where he's at next year. Maybe he pitches to a Cy Young level caliber. I don't think he's that type of pitcher. And honestly, like you said, I'd prefer Severino over Jack Flaherty.
Yeah, no, absolutely, absolutely. I think Severino's got the bigger upside, and um, yeah, I like our acquisition over this acquisition as a back end of the rotation kind of guy. And as far as potential, if they both max out, Severino's the guy for me. Not too long ago, Severino was an ace. I know Jack was technically somewhat of an ace for the Cardinals, but I don't think at the same level as the Severino was a few years back. So yeah, I'm happy about that. I'll trade that off. Didn't want a Jack Flaherty on the Mets because I don't think he is going to bounce back. But who knows? Maybe he will bounce back. What better place to do it than Detroit? But
Yeah, no pressure. No, you know, he can work on his stuff while he's there. We don't expect Detroit to be in the playoffs next year. We don't expect them to have a winning record next year, and so it'll be a good uh, spot for him to work on his stuff, um, and see where that comes. But you know, I think since the last time we talked, we saw another pitcher go off the market, somewhat of a familiar face to the New York organization. Um, Someone that kind of proved his case last year as a starting pitcher when the Mets didn't want to give him that starting job. Seth Lugo went over to the Kansas City Royals. So what do you think about that?
yeah, I mean, love Seth Lugo, love what he did for us. I know we picked up the phone and talked to him and see what was going on. But at the end of the day, he signed with Kansas City, and that's kind of good for Kansas City. They need some starting pitching. They got a couple good players over there, and they want to put something on the field that's competitive, and good for Seth Lugo because I don't think the Mets were going to give him that contract. He got what 3 years, 45 million,
15. Yeah. 15
50
million.
million, and yeah, I love Seth Lugo. Good for Seth Lugo to get guaranteed money, and more than just a year. Kind of better than that prove it deal. He proved it with the Padres last year that he can somewhat stay healthy, and and this is what he gets, and I'm happy for him. I'm happy for him, but I'm okay with it because I don't think the Mets were going to give him that contract. I don't think that's something that the Mets are the waters that we're swimming in right now. Because again, Seth Lugo would be our 4 or 5 starter, right? And 4 or 5 starter, we got one Quintana and two Severino at the back of the rotation. If we sign a Seth Lugo for the back of rotation, what's that saying to those guys? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know we kicked the tires on it, but I still don't think that we ever were going to sign Seth Lugo, just because he wanted some years and some guaranteed money, and I don't think we were ever if we were going to do a 1 year deal, we might have done that, right?
Right.
Just to bring him in, fight for a spot, even fight for Severino for a spot if it's on a 1 year deal. But when you do 3 year deal, you're basically guaranteeing a spot, right?
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
don't think we were going to do that for Seth Lugo.
No, we didn't want to do it while he was here in New York, so I don't think we would want to do it after seeing him pitch. He pitched pretty well, but I don't think well enough for the Mets to give him a 3 year deal like Kansas City did. I don't know what they're doing over there, man, because they signed some other pitcher earlier this year. Was it like Kyle Wright that they signed this earlier in this offseason? Something like that. But they're trying to make some moves, man. Maybe Kansas City is a player for next year. You never know. But nah, it's all jokes. But you know who else went off the market that was someone that the Mets were looking at was a KBO star, Jung Hoo Lee. He went over to the Giants for a pretty nice contract, 6 years. I don't know how much he got.
6 years, 118.
118. Yeah, that's a great deal. What'd you think about that?
Yeah. Again, I don't think the Mets were going to give him that. So, I'm okay with it because I don't think the Mets were swimming in that water for him, because he's more, he's a contact guy. He's a McNeil type guy, right? Not a big power guy. He's a guy that's gonna not strike out a lot. He's gonna get on base. He's gonna slap the ball around, but he's not a power guy. So and 6 years, 118. We got McNeil for that. If we're gonna keep a guy that does that, we're just gonna keep McNeil. To be
Right.
honest with you, I know we need an outfielder, but not for that. And he's unproven. You know, uh, we're about to talk about a player who's unproven, but we'll get to him next. And we're talking about giving a whole boatload of money. I don't think we want to do that for two players. So
Yeah.
that's where I'm at with that. Is good for him. The Giants want to make a splash because of what happened of losing Otani. There was a report out there that they gave him the same offer that the Dodgers did. They just, Otani just wanted to be a Dodger, you
Yeah.
know. So they said, oh, they wanted to go after Yamamoto. They heard what was being offered for Yamamoto. They pivoted to Lee and said, y'all can do whatever you want, but we're going to Lee, and that's fine.
Yeah.
I'm okay.
Yeah.
I'm fine with it. I don't know about you.
Yeah. I think the only kind of thing that we liked about him was that he was a center fielder, and so he would have been able to be our maybe even our starting center fielder. I'm not sure how he plays defense, but he would have been a great fit for that. But other than that, not losing too much. We have a lot of contact hitters. We need more power. We need more power bats, and so I'm still okay. Like I said, I don't care if we pick up any bats this year. We need to fill the DH role and some uh, backup positions. But honestly, that's kind of like the last thing on my radar.
Yeah.
We're about to talk about what's the first thing on our radar.
Yeah, let's talk about it. Yamamoto, he's met with everybody. He's even met with the Phillies. Phillies met with him today, and there was a report out there that he's impressed with what the Dodgers contingent showed him. But we'll see. Honestly, I don't know. To be honest with you, the longer this lasts, the more it scares me, and also gives me more confidence because if he wanted to sign with the Dodgers already, why hasn't he signed? You know what I mean? If he wanted to sign with the Yankees, why is he meeting with the Phillies? You know what I'm saying? It's like, to me, it still comes to he's looking for the most money. He's driving that price up, you know. And that's what it seems like to me. I don't know about you, but that's what it seems like to me. That's why the longer it takes, I get scared because I'm a Met fan. But gives me also more confident because Santa Cohen's on the other side. You know what I mean? And so I don't know. I don't know. To be honest with you, I'm a little I don't know what to think anymore. I'm at the point that I'm so beat up by this offseason that I don't know what to think anymore.
I'm with you, man. It's you put it perfectly because I'm like I'm glad, or it makes me nervous that he's taking this long, because if he would have wanted the uh if he wanted the most money, and if he was going to sign with the team based on that, I think he would have already signed. And but it makes me nervous because I see all these teams building up their teams, and so that it makes it more enticing for him to go to a winning organization. That's why it makes me nervous. But if it's for what you said, and he's trying to just drive up the price by meeting with all these teams, like what's he meeting with the Phillies for? It's doesn't make any sense. And so if he's meeting with them for that reason, then I think that I have more confidence uh, that he is coming to the Mets, because we know if it's money, Steve Cohen is going to pay that money. But at this point, he's not giving us anything. We don't know if it's money. It could be a bazillion things that is just not on our radar. And so it stinks. He's young. He's got all this attention on him. If I was in his shoes, I'm 25. So if I was in his shoes, I'd try to take the time out, just soak it all in, and take the attention while it's here, because I'd also be nervous to go to that league that I've never pitched in before, and so maybe I need to drive up that price until it's through the roof. And then if something happens, oh well, it doesn't matter because I already got the money that I need.
Yeah, yeah, and um, if it's about winning, why hasn't he already signed with the Dodgers? Right? They already signed Otani. They probably already talked about the Glasnow trade because that was in the last lap when they met with Yamamoto. And so they probably told him, look, we're getting more pitching and we're doing all this and we're doing all that. So if it was about winning, why isn't he signed? Right. Um I that's why I lean more money, but I don't know, man. I'm beat up. I'm beat up. And I'm tired of it. Need to sign Santa Cohen, bring him home because I'm tired of this. I need to see Yamamoto in a Mets jersey. Press conference next week for Christmas. Come on. We're already at Christmas. Let me know. I'm tired of this.
It's crazy. I say we just stop doing podcasts until this deal is done. No, I'm kidding. We still want to get our frustrations out. We still want to be able to say our 2 cents, but it might not be until January 4th, until he's not able to start until he's not, can't talk to teams anymore, that he signs that deal. And so, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Yamamoto will come in the new year, it seems like.
Oh man, don't say that, man. Hey, Santa Cohen, bring Yamamoto home. Look, we're gonna end it there because honestly, I don't got any more. I don't got any more. Yamamoto needs to sign and let us get through this offseason already. Santa Cohen, bring him home. Everybody, like, subscribe, comment in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Before we get out of here, Victor, any last words?
I'm ready to play baseball at this point, man. Now let's just get to spring training so we can watch some baseball be played. But until then, we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna have fun. Merry Christmas to everyone. Um, let's go Mets. That's all I gotta say now.
Yeah, let's go, Mets. All right, peace, y'all.
See you.